With 15,000 nuclear devices in existence, and 1,800 of them ready to be launched within minutes, the threat of nuclear obliteration is a real possibility. Though the odds of surviving a nuclear blast are definitely against you, following these steps will help you avoid common mistakes and hopefully get you through the worst type of devastation that the human race has ever engineered. Number 8. Know your surroundings. This is a step that you can take today to save your life later. You should know where plenty of solid concrete buildings are. Make a list of all the possible concrete shelters, not just around your home, but also around your school and your job. That way, you can find cover no matter where you are when it finally does happen. If there's no fallout shelters nearby, then school buildings and military bases are designed to be especially safe. Number 7. How to survive the initial impact. There's no easy way to say this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get this terrifying fact out of the way right now. If you're unfortunate enough to be caught outside during a nuclear blast, then you are probably going to perish horribly. That's because basically everything outside within a 2-mile radius is going to immediately burst into scorching flames from the extreme heat of the blast. People, trees, and practically everything else will be set ablaze. Only people who are inside of concrete buildings and other reinforced structures will survive this stage. Anyone who is already underground at the time of impact will have the best chance of surviving. Oh, and don't look at the blast or anywhere near it. Looking towards the fireball can easily melt your eyes right out of your head. This can happen up to 50 miles from the blast, so going blind is a real possibility, even from afar. After the nuclear device goes off, you only have about 30 seconds to take cover from the ensuing blast wave. A blast wave is basically a gigantic ripple of energy that is released from the nuclear device itself. It's going to heavily damage or outright destroy almost everything except for the most secure of buildings. So you need to take cover fast. Again, you only have about 30 seconds to take cover inside of something really heavy. Ideally, jumping into a cast iron tub would be best. Otherwise, try to take cover in a doorway and lie down while covering your head with your hands to protect yourself from falling debris. I'm not going to lie, you're probably a splattered and burnt body at this point, or just a forgotten smear of ashes against a charred wall. If you were already in a good location, or close to one when the blast happens however, then you might have survived. Now you need to worry about the incoming wave of nuclear radiation. Number 6. How to survive the fallout. At this point, you are probably standing inside of a broken building and need to find better shelter. You have about 30 minutes to relocate before the fallout hits. If you are caught outside, or if you have chosen a bad building after this 30-minute grace period is over, then you are going to be losing hair, teeth, and rotting from the inside out in no time flat from immense radiation. Getting into your car and driving to the nearest non-radioactive town may seem logical at first, but it is actually one of the worst choices you can make. First of all, there's no telling which areas are safe from fallout, and it's practically impossible to outdrive the radiation. Second, even if your car does work, which it won't, you'll find the roads are completely blocked off, and that's not all. Cars are made of lightweight materials and glass that can't keep the huge levels of radiation at bay, so you will slowly waste away until your grinning skeleton remains safely buckled in. It's one of the worst ways to go. Shelter is key in this situation. Basically, you want to go any place that puts lots of dense materials between you and the outside world, whether it's dirt, concrete, steel, or bricks. Wood structures aren't very good. The goal is to hang tight until a government response team finds you. but you need to know what types of buildings can adequately block out the radiation. If you want to survive this waiting game, check out this infographic from the Environmental Protection Agency showing which buildings are safe. Brown and gray rooms offer poor protection, pink and purple rooms are just okay, and blue is the best. The numbers themselves specify exactly how much radiation is being blocked. So let's look at the 2-story house for example. You can see that the first floor offers a radiation protection ratio of 1 out of 3. So in other words, staying on this floor only cuts down radiation by 1/3. Staying in a brick basement of this same house means you are exposed to 1/20th the amount of radiation, which is still not very good, but much less than the first floor. At any rate, you don't have to pay attention to any of the numbers to see that 1-story, 2-story, and even 3-story buildings don't offer much protection from the fallout. Even if they are made of bricks and have a concrete basement, if you want to get decent protection, you need to get in the basement of a 5-story building or in the very center of the 3rd floor of an apartment building or large office. Fallout radiation does not stay around for long. In fact, 99% of it will be gone within just 2 weeks. Now you simply have to wait out those 2 weeks and try not to succumb to starvation, thirst, radiation, bandits, or any of the physical damage that you undoubtedly have sustained in the meantime. Hopefully you will be rescued before these 14 days are up. Number 5. Take off all clothes. In the meantime, your clothes are covered in contaminants from the outside world and need to come off. Doing this will remove up to 90% of all nuclear radiation from your body. Put all of your clothes in a plastic bag if possible, tie it closed, and toss it into the far corner of the room. These clothes are heavily contaminated, so nobody should go near them. Number 4. Stay in the middle of the room. You need to get in the very center of whatever building you choose. Next, stay away from the windows and doors, as these are the main points of entry for radioactive materials. Number 3. Get clean. Take a shower if possible, otherwise use wet wipes or a clean wet cloth to gently wipe down any area of your body that wasn't covered by clothing. Be sure not to scrub or scratch at all, as this could create openings in your skin for the radiation to seep further into your body. Wipe your eyelids, eyelashes, and ears very slowly and gently. Softly blow your nose to remove any radiation in your nostrils without damaging the delicate mucous membranes. Above all else, do not use conditioner when showering. You can use all the shampoo you want, but using conditioner will actually cause the radiation to sink further into your hair due to a specific chemical reaction. It's a strange rule that can definitely save your life. Number 2. Have an emergency kit. You are going to want to have a radio to stay in contact with the outside world while you wait. A radio that generates electricity with a hand crank is best. Some of them even have a USB port that can charge other devices like laptops and cell phones. Mobile phones are not as useful as hand radios because the cell phone towers might be heavily damaged. Even if they are still working, the lines will most likely be tied up. A radio will let you get emergency broadcasts from the government more easily than phones. You are going to want about a gallon of water per person per day. This is one of the hardest provisions to consider because it's not realistic to carry 14 gallons of water on you. So just grab as much as you can without getting too bogged down. Breakfast bars will work well for food, and you need to bring any necessary prescription medications with you too. Lastly, a flashlight, batteries, and moist towelettes are recommended. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you've ever been curious as to what I look like in real life, then follow me on Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT with underscores instead of spaces. I also have a Twitter at YT_chills where I post video updates. I'd really appreciate it if you followed me, and feel free to send me a DM if you have any questions or suggestions. Also, I recently created a subreddit where you can submit videos and stories for future lists. It's r/chillsnarrator, and the link is in the description below. If you'd like to see more of these videos in the future, then hit that subscribe button because I upload a new video every Thursday. If English isn't the only language you speak and you're interested in getting a shout out, click more, then add translations. By translating the video, not only will more people be able to watch it, but a link to your channel will be added in the description. Number 1. What to do after a nuclear blast. Stay put and wait for government instructions on your radio. If no one comes to you, or no instructions are received after 2 weeks, then you may carefully leave the building and go into the outside world. Try to remember where the blast happened and walk in the opposite direction. Hopefully a government station will be nearby, or at least some signs. Stay away from any areas marked radiation hazard while looking for a rescue crew. Your radioactive journey has just begun, but you've already gotten too far to give up now. Sometimes the strangest things can happen to us during the most ordinary of times. Every person on this list is convinced that they have captured something paranormal using the Snapchat app. Glitch or not, their thoughts and experiences have been recorded live for our analysis.